Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this another episode of Growth Mindset Show. My name is Mahesh Chand. I'm your host and founder of CSharpCorner also. If you're joining first time, welcome to the show. If you're joining back, welcome back to the show. You probably already know this Growth Mindset Show is every Friday, 12. Now we just switched 12 noon. It was 11 a.m. EST, now it's 12. Shinu, welcome to the show. Rohit, welcome to the show. Um, so yeah, if you know, growth mindset focuses around growth, your growth. If you are a student, you're a developer, you are a leader, senior project manager, anything you're doing in around IT, this is all about your growth. So we are going to talk about growth. Um, and again, this show is for you. So ask your questions. Okay, I'm here for you. Any kind of questions you have about job, career, time, anything you have, just feel free to ask your questions. Today's topic is, let me share my screen, is managing learning pressure. And the topic came from on on our forums, on C Sharp Corner forums. So if you guys not familiar, we have forums on C Sharp Corner where you can ask any questions. So on forums, we got one question from one of our members is asking, how do I manage learning pressure when I have day-to-day work? I'm working on projects. There are tight deadlines. I have two kids and also health issues. So how do you manage this learning pressure and continuous learning, which is important for everybody, to be honest. So that's what our focus is today. I want you guys to get your questions ready. I want you to share your feedback if you're learning something. um, Levi, welcome to the show. Rishabh, welcome to the Growth Mindset Show. Everybody, welcome to the show. I would love to get your questions answered in the end, so have your questions ready. So, Keshav is here. I see a lot of people joining in from YouTube. Pravesh is here. Rishabh is here. Lucky here. All right, let's get this started. So, as I said, so what are we going to talk today is that if you're working in a company, you have a full-time job, or you are a student, um, and then you also have this other responsibilities, right? How do you manage this learning pressure, and how do you manage this um, day-to-day continuous learning? So let me start by saying that you are not alone. So if you are facing this pressure, yeah, oh, I need to learn a lot. I need to always continue learning new things while I don't have time. I am so busy. You're not alone. A lot of us, I have gone through that. A lot of us are going through this thing. So you're not alone. Don't feel like you are the only one have this problem. And it's not really very difficult problem. And I will share in my this talk today is how you can easily overcome this. Um, so the most important part is managing your time. Okay, how many of you, let me ask you a question, and you ask me and you reply me in comments. I want to see a reply in comments in yes and no. How many of you sit down every week, every day, and look at how are you spending your time? Let me repeat my question. How many of you every week sit down and write down or analyze how did you spend your time this week? Where did you spend time? Where you wasted time? Similar to your money, everybody goes and manages their money, like, okay, how much money you have, this is my budget for a month, how much in my bank account. How many of you manage your time? How many of you think about, oh, where am I spending my time? Answer is yes and no. Just answer me. This is one thing I want to know. So once you figure out how do you manage your time, then you will see it's much easier for you to balance your learning, your family life, as well as your day-to-day work. That's how. And if you don't do that, looks like some people already do, that's great. But if you don't do that, this is exactly I want you to start thinking about. Okay, if your goal Let's say your goal is to become an architect, software architect, and you have to analyze, my goal is to become a software architect in the next 3 years. You have to look at your time day by day. What did I do today towards reaching my goal? That's how you have to look at it. That's amazing. Looks like a lot of everybody look at their time, how to manage. This is great, guys. Good work. One thing here I want to explain here is that you have to be a little bit selfish in this when you're managing your time, and allocate a little part of your time just for yourself. And when I say for yourself, not for your family, not for your friends, not for your work, not for your school. Sometime you have to manage just for yourself, personal. Some people go to gym, that's their time. You have to get into your time zone where you are just you. It could be something you're learning, you're reading, you are going to a gym. That's what you have to do, because that's the time is you spend on your growth. Okay? Start thinking about that. Um, okay, what happened to my slides? I jumped here. Hold on a second. Yep. So that's number one. Now, number two is you got to prioritize your tasks. We know, we are so busy. And a lot of time you will find that we are busy without business. Means we are spending too much time on things they don't matter to us. For example, social media. I see people have social media accounts. So have 3 accounts on Instagram, 2 accounts, this account, LinkedIn, Facebook, and they are juggling back and forth. That's the biggest time waste. Social media is the biggest time waste. Not only you're wasting your time, it's also disrupting the peace of your mind. Social media is the worst thing you can do. If you are on social media spending your time, too much time, you are not going to grow in your career. You're not going to go anywhere, because social media is just the waste. Unless you are using social media for learning, for growth. So you have to see, ask yourself, and we will not believe, in the US at least, people spend 3 to 5 hours on social media, either watching YouTube, whatever. So you have to ask yourself, okay, how much time I spend on social media every day? Do I go every half an hour and look at my phone? Do I go every hour and check out my stuff, see what people are posting? So that when I said, do you analyze your time, that's what I mean, is how much time you're spending that's not adding to your growth. And then you got to prioritize. First thing you got to do is every day you wake up, write down your to-do list. One is your work to-do list, one is your personal to-do list. So you should know today, if you already know that you wake up at 7 o'clock, you 7 to 8, you go to gym, whatever you do, yoga, whatever it is, you got to prioritize it and try to do same thing every day. When you try to do same thing every day, you slowly, your brain start recognizing that, and after 21 years or so, if you don't do same thing, your brain and body is going to ask you question like, hey, you didn't do that today, you missed something. So for example, gym, if you start going to gym every day at 3 p.m. or whatever, 5 p.m. every day for 21 days, if you don't go to 22nd day, your body is going to say something wrong, you missed something, because now it has become your habit. So you have to give it this much time. Balance is the key, right? This is what sometimes people look at the world, whole world work on a balance. Our earth is balanced, right? You will see our earth is spinning in the same speed all the time. Imagine if earth changes speed, everything will disrupt. So you have to build that balance between, in between the rest, between eating, between exercising, between studying, between your work. Everything has to be balanced. Again, I'm going to continue talking about my points, but I want you guys to ask your questions, post your questions, so then I can answer it. So at work, and this is all about, this is not for students, usually it's people who are working full-time jobs, and sometimes they are in a senior role. And what happens is you try to do everything too much. You try to do yourself a lot. You have to always figure out, if you have people working with you, how do you delegate tasks? Otherwise, you're going to be overwhelmed. I see some people, they come to say, you know what, I'm going to do this myself, because I'll do faster. I understand that concept, but that's not good. Okay, Rishabh, welcome to the show. So if you are a senior person, you have people working with you, for you, you need to learn how to delegate tasks. And oh, by the way, my next show is on leadership. And that's why delegate tasks is very important to become a leader. If you don't know how to delegate tasks, if you don't know how to get your work done by other people working with you, working for you, it's hard to become a leader. So stay tuned. Next week, same time, we will talk about this on delegating tasks. Um, if you ask me, I think your smartphone is your biggest enemy when it comes to learning and growth. Um, and I'm not saying that phone per se. I'm saying that the apps on the phone. Um, and think about this. Your brain is also, think about your brain as a computer. Okay, always think, this is how I see things. Your brain is a computer. More things you tell it to do, or like you say you're on Facebook reading something, when you read something, you start thinking about, your brain start processing that information. You are on Instagram, brain start processing information. So more things you put in there, out of sudden there's so many applications running in your brain. um, what happens when too many applications run in your brain? Guess what? In it, similar to computers, it gets hot. So there's so much going on. So the best advice I can give you is that if you are at work and you are at a school, ignore your smartphone. When you're trying to do something productive, ignore your smartphone. Good thing with your phone is that anything is there, it's not going to go disappear. If somebody sends you message, it's there. If somebody sends you notification, it's there. It's always there. Okay. So you don't need to look every second, every minute on your phone, or every half an hour. Oh, see what's going on with my post, who's liking, who's not liking. That is my best advice I can give you, is keep your phone away. Check it once in a while. I'm not saying don't check all day, right? There's some important, somebody, your family sent a message or called it. That's important. Sometimes you can even have a different tone for family, so this is important. So everybody, welcome to the show. Disha, welcome. Rishabh, Shreyans, welcome to the show. Everybody, ask your questions here. This is a growth mindset show. In this show, we are all about growth, your growth, career growth, physical, mental, anything you have questions, just ask questions here. Uh, we already have a question from Disha. We will take this after I go through my point. Sachin, welcome to the show. Prakshit. Everybody, thank you for joining it. So, what I was talking about is your smartphone. If you can figure out how to manage your time on a smartphone, look, when is the last time you check how much time you spend on your phone every day? When is the last time you check how much time you spend your phone every day? Your phone has all the data, okay? And see how you can reduce that. Because every time you could look at your phone, you may not realize that, but you're working, your brain is working, your energy is getting burned in that. So you have to think like that. And how is it helping you? So if you're in your phone and you are going through Twitter feeds and you're reading something helping your growth, reading news, that's great, because that's a good thing, you're learning something. But then if you are on a phone just unnecessarily scrolling through the Instagram and whatever, just watching little whatever videos, nonsense, that's how you have to think, like, is it really helping me? And to be honest, I don't think we can leave our phones alone these days. But if you are a little bit disciplined, for example, you are in a class, or you are working, you say, you know what, for 2 hours, I'm not going to look at my phone. It's turned off or silent, sitting somewhere else. Every 1 hour, 2 hour, when I'm taking breaks, then I'm going to come and look at it. That's how you have to think. Um, All right. So learning is very important and it's continuous. And this is very important. And this is the most important part for your growth. So what I have found is sometimes learning is hard if you're working in a day-to-day job. Some companies don't allow you to work on things outside of your project. Some people are lucky, they work on things and the companies allow them to learn more. But some companies say, you're working on this project, you have to work 8 hours a day, you have to work on this project only. But then how do you learn? How do you learn new things? What my advice is, you figure out half an hour a day, not too much. 30 minutes is good, 40 minutes is good, an hour is great. 1 hour if you have give every day. Come figure out a time when you're alone, figure out a time when nobody disturbs you. It could be early in the morning. Okay, if you have family and kids, figure out when before they wake up or they go to school, where you can find that half an hour to 1 hour every day quiet. Some people at that time read newspapers. Some people at that time watch social media. People wake up in the morning, they have some extra time, they watch social media. That is the time you can say, you know what, I'm not going to on social media, because social media will still be there. It's not going anywhere. That time you say, this is my zone, this is my learning time, and every day, half an hour, I'm going to learn new things. That's how you have to figure this out. That's how you have to plan it. A lot of people also, I hear this complaint all the time. Oh, my company asked me to learn these new things and I'm really busy. Well, that's kind of, to be honest, when it comes to learning, it's not really for company. You should be happy that your company is asking you to learn new things, because learning is actually for you. It's for your growth. Every time you learn, there's so many benefits of learning. Not only it makes you sharper and smarter, but it may also help you in future career. There's no guarantee that you're going to work in the same project for 15 years of your life. There is no guarantee you are going to work in same company for forever. So every time you look for a new job or new project, that learning is actually going to help you. That learning is your best friend. So you cannot just say, oh, my company is asking me to learn two things, a lot of things. That's really actually good for you. And then energy matters, right, guys? This is very important, because people get tired, and a lot of that is because you're wasting your brain on things they don't matter to you. Okay, for example, social media is the biggest enemy, if you ask me. um, so you have to figure out, and I'll give you an example how I do that, and then you can compare. Say you work every day 8 hours. You are at a company, you're working 8 hours. Between those 8 hours, every hour or every 2 hours, or even you are at a school, college, every time you have a break, you need to figure out how to do a little bit of stretching, a little bit walking, whatever it is. You have to give your body a break. Every hour, you give 5 minutes break, stretch, move around. It's really helpful for long run. Okay, taking frequent breaks, especially if you are working from home. A lot of people are working from home these days. And my advice to you is, when you're working from home, sitting at a desk, um, I want you to really, every 45, 50 minutes or 1 hour, depends, say you have meeting, long meeting, at once the long meeting is done, go take 5 minutes break. And during those 5 minutes break, don't stay sit, just do stretching, do something, do a little bit walking, running, whatever it is. You have to give your body a little bit relaxing. That's how body stretching of the body is very important. Okay, guys. um Same thing with the food, right? So if your body is not happy, it's going to affect your brain, and vice versa. If your mind is not happy, it's going to affect your body. So you have to give both of them break. You have to give your mind break, you have to give your body break. And we can ask more questions. Feel free to ask more questions if anything is not clear here. But I think this is my last slide, and after that we will take some questions. When you do achieve something, when you, let's say, finished a module, finish some, you just fix a big bug you were stuck in for hours, or you just launch a feature, you got to celebrate, you got to have fun. You need to figure it out. I know if you're working full time, some companies don't allow you to have too much fun, but you need to figure it out. I don't know how. This is on you. You have to figure out to feel like, yeah, I achieved something, I'm happy about it. You talk about it, you enjoy it. This is very important. You don't have to be always miserable at work. um, well, so that is all. These are my tips. I think these were my kind of 10 tips. I'm writing an article on it. C Sharp Corner. It should go live tomorrow. And also, this video will be available on C Sharp Corner YouTube as well as C Sharp TV. So, yeah, that is all. And these are, guys, if you go watch this again, think about this. Hopefully, it will help you take some of your stress away. Remember, stress is a lot of it is really in your mind. Nobody else is giving you stress. You are the only giving up stress to yourself. Okay. So if some of you think like my company is giving me stress or my boss is giving me stress, not really. Stress is something, it's up to you how much you want to take it. It's in your mind playing games with you. More you control it, more you manage it, more you figure it out. It's up to you. And you will figure it out. Everybody does. We all go through this process. Nothing, it's not something that you are unique in this. Okay, as I said. All right, awesome. Let's take some questions. We still have a few minutes left. Let's start with some questions. The question is from Maniska. How can I manage my college life with my professional life? Both are important at the same time, but how can I manage with all that? Maniska, I'm not sure. Are you in a college or you working? I'm not sure. Um, it's hard to tell me because I don't know if you are full-time student. So I would just go through all those 10 of my tips and figure out what is your goals, what are your goals, and where are you spending your time. Again, I want you to, if you really go write down your task. Okay, today I did this. I woke up at this time. I ate this time. I studied this time. I did this my job. And then look at this. Where is the and I this how much time I spend on social media, how much time spend my friends. If you start writing that down and start looking at it and say, you know what, this is where I wasted. This doesn't make sense. This is not helping me. Okay, right now you're in college and you said professional life. So I'm not sure professional life really means when you're at work. Um, I mean, if you're in college, to be honest, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to You don't need to have any stress if you're in college, to be honest. College is you should be having fun. And I'm not saying fun means going partying all time and not studying. College is time you should be, besides you go to class, you study, do your homework, and having fun with your friends, and then think about what you plan to do in future. This stress should be the last thing while you are in college. Okay, I would not too much worry about what will happen 2 years down the road, what will happen 3 years down the road. Will I get a job? Where will I get all those questions? There's nothing to worry about those. All you should worry about is, am I doing what I supposed to do? Um, if you have time, one thing I would add to your work is try to meet more professional people who are already in the jobs. For example, depending on your goal, if your goal is I want to really join Google, for example, that's your goal. So you have to figure out who is in Google or somebody working in Microsoft and Adobe and where they meet. Is it in my friend circle? Is it in my family? And then try to spend more time with them and learn from their mistakes, learn from their experiences. But nothing to worry about. Anybody who's young, my advice is that there's nothing to worry about. You should not have any stress at this age. Okay, there's more bigger things in life when you are going to have stress. This should be your time to have fun and just focus, have a good network, start building a good network also means where you spending time, who you meeting, who you hanging out with. Remember, you will become what your best five friends are. Let me repeat this. You will become what your best five friends are, right? So if you want to start your own startup, try to find friends who are in startups. Okay? Try to be friends with people who are building in your school. If somebody is trying to build their own startup, you want to be friend with them because that's where you're going to become soon. But again, stress should be your last thing for everybody here. St- Stress is not helping at all. It's actually bad for your growth, for your learning, for everything. All right, let's take the next question. Diksha says, how can stay motivated, maintain an attitude of learning during long-term projects or when progress seems slow? This is very important question, and a lot of people go through this. Sometimes you're working in these big projects. Sometimes you are just fixing bugs, and sometimes things don't go your way. So my view is there's something you can control, something you cannot control. Okay, the things you can control, you need to do that. For example, you need to learn, you need to pay attention to things, you need to work, you need to do that. um, but sometimes, let's say you're not motivated, it's very important to find positive people in your life. They can be the friends, co-workers, they can be family, they can be your somebody. Whenever you feel like down, you can talk to them. Somebody who can, again, cheer you up and motivate you. And everybody's different. Okay, and it's better to find some friends who are working at work, say, hey, I'm here, and there's always kind of encouraging. You can always talk to somebody. I'm not sure if you have somebody. You can join shows like these. Yeah, there's growth mindset. You can watch some videos on YouTube when you have time. So you have to figure it out what motivates you. But things go slow sometimes. Things don't work out your way. This happens all the time in life. Okay, but if you are not motivated, you just need to find that factor what motivates you. Okay, it's really hard. It's different for everybody. Okay, it's not something one answer for everybody. So you have to find what is that factor. What best thing I found is have some friends who are really always encouraging you when things don't go your way. All right, let's take next question. All right, how do you prevent a situation from getting too stressful to manage? I think Ana- Anampta, how do you say name? I'm not sure. I think this whole show is all about. We just had 10 tips. These are my favorite personal 10 tips I shared in this show. If you missed that, it was all about how to prevent stressful situations. Um, if you read more about stress, you learn about what stress is. It's all your mind. It's nobody really giving you stress. It's really, if let's let's say you're working in a company and your manager yells at you, some whatever reason, or not happy with you. He may be saying things, but stress is up to you. You don't need to take a stress. You, as long as you're doing your job, and you're honest about it, you are faithful about it, you can do as much as you can push. That's all you can do. That's it. And I'm not saying don't learn and don't work hard. That's not what I'm saying. But more than that, you just can't. You just be honest and you can talk about it. uh, Sometimes talking to more people, asking for help is always good. A lot of people are willing to help, online, offline, in person. You just also have to ask. Sometimes we think like, oh, if I'm asking for help or I'm asking a question, people will think I'm dumb or I don't know much. Always look for help. All so many people are out there, they are willing to help. Yeah, and this video will be available soon, so you go watch this video if you missed this. I'm also writing an article on C Sharp Corner on all my 10 tips. Guys, a lot of these tips are from my personal life. I learned over the years. I work from home my whole life, so it's really hard to work from home. Keep motivated yourself all the time. But so I have learned over time. So those are the tips I'm sharing here. All right, let's take more questions. Stephen Simon. Stephen Simon says, I have stress in my life, which means I am old now. No, there's old and new has nothing to do with the stress. Stress is up to you. You want to take a stress or not. Like, how can somebody give you stress? I don't understand. Even people say, it's like somebody is, I always say, I'll tell you a story, right? My neighbor, one time my neighbor comes and he's like, Mahesh, I don't like you. Like, okay, I won't take his name. So it's fine. I don't care. You don't like me. It's not my problem. You don't like me, right? Why do I care? I ask him, do you pay my kids' bills? He's like, no. Do you mow my grass? Like, no. Do you clean my house? No. So why do I care if you like me or not? It's your problem. It's not my problem, right? So same thing is stress. Stress is up to you how much you will take. It's up to you how much you don't want to take. So there's something you can do, something you cannot do, and something you can improve, something you cannot. But stress is it's up to you how much you want to take. It's in your mind. Nobody else is giving you, throwing stress at you. They may be asking you to do work, they may be telling you you are slow. That's a different story. And you just need to figure out and ask nicely and talk about it and get the guidance and get the help. How do you get better at what you're doing? If you're wasting time on nonsense things I talked about, stop wasting that time, right? If you're supposed to work 8 hours a day, you got to put 8 hours a work day in your work. That's what all you can do. And I'm not saying, oh, you're supposed to work 8 hours, work 4 hours. My point is, if you're supposed to work 8 hours, just work 8 hours. Do as much as you can. Learn whatever you can do. Go ask for help. You seek help, and just be honest about it. That's about it. It's, you know, that's in your control. Everything else is not in your control. You control things only what you can, but do it with honesty and what you're supposed to do. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Let's take more questions. Looks like we have a few more questions. All right. Rohit asks, since the phone has become integral part of our lives, how to utilize and grow professionally? So this is good. Very good question. Very good point. I have phone. I have phone with me all the time, right? I use all the time, 24/7, unless I'm sleeping. So phone is a hardware, then apps are the one that makes phone a something utility, right? So you have to have those apps. They're helping you, right? If you are on LinkedIn, it's helping you professionally. You have LinkedIn. If Twitter, you're watching news, you are learning, you are connected with people. Twitter, your Twitter app. But if you are on Snapchat and you just chit chatting, is it helping you really? Personally, I'm not sure. If you can't live without it, how do you reduce the use of Snapchat or Instagram? If Instagram is helping you, sure, be on Instagram. Remember, all these other, there are two kinds of app. One is you're learning something and you're growing. One apps are just for fun and entertainment. So the fun and entertainment, you can reduce those apps. You can reduce the use of those apps. I know we get bored a lot sometimes. I'm at work, I'm bored, I'll go to bathroom. Oh, I have 2 minutes, let me scroll through Instagram. So these habits are one that makes it worse, because once it becomes habit, you want to do that again and again. These social media apps, the way they are designed, they are supposed to make you addicted, and that's the bad part. So my advice is, when you are focused working, keep your phone away. When you have when you have something to do important, keep your phone away. Remember, there's nothing in the phone that will disappear. It will always be there. um, if you are, I don't know, doing exercise, you don't need phone. Keep your phone away. All you have to do is figure this out. And for growing professionally, yeah, you just use apps. They will help you. It's more content. You want to become a leader, just then you follow people who are leaders on Twitter and just watch Twitter. You want to um, become a speaker, you just follow, watch videos. That's how it is, really. Okay, any more questions left? I think we are almost, actually, we are over time. So if there's more question, we'll take last more question, and then I will close this. All right, Srishti Acharya, she asked that how to feel always motivated, how to make our brain believe and we can do it. This is a great question, Srishti. This is amazing question. Practice, practice, practice. It's all about practice. Our brain, the way it works is it's wired, right? It's wired. More you tell it to do something, more it will do, and more it will believe that this is the right thing to do. So if anything you want to do in life, you just have to practice. Once it becomes a habit, it takes time. I know if you do something today, it's not going to become a habit. Um, so once it's become a habit, then you don't have to tell your brain anything. It will know already, okay, I need to do this. So it's a matter of practice and make it a habit. Anything you want in life, just make it habit. If you want to grow, say you want, I'm going to learn every day new things, just put half an hour, evening, morning, lunch, whenever you have time, say this half an hour every day. I'm going to learn. I'm going to go to this website, read news about tech, what's the new things going on, and do it every day. After some days, say, I think average is 21 days. If you do 21 days, if you don't do in 22nd day, it's going to ask what happened today. I need to do that. So that's the key. You want to be in a better health, start going to gym same time every day. You will see difference that after 3 weeks your body will say, your brain will say, what happened? I'm not feeling good. I miss something? Yes, I didn't go to gym today. So with that said, guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining me this Friday here. I'm in the US, Austin, attending consensus conference. I'm taking this podcast from the hotel. So thank you so everybody so much. I know it's evening in India. It's wherever you're joining me from. Thank you so much, and I will see you next Friday. Thank you. Bye.